we're just absolutely thrilled with the quality of the pool that we had to select from, and the 4 individuals that we've asked to come to campus are just outstanding, kind of a diverse background on each of them, a little something different to offer, and we're looking forward to a public process for the interviews starting the week of the 18th. They'll be on campus, not at the same time, but one following the other, 3 the week of the 18th, and then the 4th individual on the week of the 25th, that Monday. Okay. And, they'll have meetings, small group meetings with faculty and staff and students and the vice president, cabinet, that sort of thing. But then we're also going to do some public forums, which we're encouraging anyone and everyone to come out. They'll, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the following Monday, the 4 candidates will do a short presentation, probably take some questions, and then have a meet and greet for the public to get to know them. And then we're going to ask for input and feedback on what everybody thinks of their various qualities and strengths and who would be the best fit for the University of Montana.
So who are the candidates, and give us a brief bio.
So, 4 candidates. The first one that's going to visit campus, we'll take them in order of the visits that are scheduled. Myrta Martin, she has served as president of Fort Hays College. She left there this spring. She also has a corporate banking background. So a lot of experience in higher ed and outside of higher ed, which is kind of unique. The next individual to visit is Andy Feinstein, and he is a provost currently at San Jose State, which is part of the California system. Pretty good sized school. I think they have about 32 or 36,000 students on their campus alone. So he certainly knows his way around campus and has worked for the last 5 years as a provost. The third candidate to visit is an individual named Seth Bodner, and he actually is sort of an interesting candidate. He currently works or has worked as a president at General Electric I think he's referred to as Chief Digital Officer was his position prior, but oversaw one of the divisions of GE. He's actually a West Point graduate that went on to be a Rhodes Scholar and has some family ties back to Missoula, very much like to get back to Montana, and is interested in seeing how this may fit. And then the 4th candidate is currently the president of University Central Missouri. He's been there 8 years, served 12 years before that. Also as a president at a different institution, so a lot of experience in that role. He's done a great job both managing the campus, but also external connections and fundraising and that. Well, if you're president of anywhere for 20 years, you've got a good understanding of what's going on. He's one of the younger individuals to be president when he got his first job, and so again has a lot of interest in Montana and what we're doing up here, and anxious to come to campus. They all really.
Well, now, real quick, Clay, would you mind saying his name?
Oh, sorry. His name is Charles or Chuck Ambrose.
Got it. Okay. So wonderful. All right. So I'm understanding. That's right. You can see we can go online and look at the bios and histories of each of these folks, right?
Yep.
Excellent. All right. I will definitely link that to our story. Now, how do you feel about these 4 individuals? Are these folks that obviously you've had a chance to interview each of them? Were there anything that really stood out that they all had in common?
Well, I think one of the things that we've identified, certainly dynamic, energetic, visionary sort of leadership role at the University of Montana. That was highlighted in our prospectus. I think the committee was very aware of that and, sort of what they could bring to the table in terms of leadership. They all come at it from a little different background, but all have been very engaged at high levels of leadership and management, and we're just very excited about the various perspectives that they bring, but the common thread is they all seem to, and did a great job at the interview, but seem to be highly energetic, kind of visionary leaders, and that's what the committee's really identified as some of the key characteristics of who we want to see in the next president.
All right. Now, what's the next step? Obviously, once they've all come on to the campus and had contact with the community and the faculty and the students, what's the next step after that?
Yeah. So after that, or during that, we'll seek input from individuals that they engage with, both public and on campus, looking for feedback. We'll have an online option, too, for people to submit feedback back to the committee. We've asked the search committee members to attend as many of the functions as they can and certainly solicit and gain feedback. Once they've visited and as many people as possible have weighed in, we will meet again in the days just following their visits as a search committee, and the search committee will ultimately make a recommendation for each candidate that to the regents that they would either recommend or not that they be selected as president. So it's not a ranking or we like this one the best. It's if the regents see fit, this would be the following candidates that the committee would recommend, and that may be all four that the committee recommends, or it may be some number of the four after those final interviews, and then the regents will have to deliberate and make a decision on who we're going to hire.
Now, Clay, will that final decision be yours, or is it going to be collaborative?
Oh, it'll be collaborative. The committee will obviously weigh in heavily on what they value in each of the candidates and how they performed on campus. They're truly kind of a 12, 14, 16-hour day, 2 days in a row, and just, how they did and how they interacted. And we'll look at that feedback from the committee and what they see as strengths and attributes that may serve us well in Missoula, and then that recommendation will be certainly carried forward by me and visit with the board, and board members will be able to receive some of that directly as well, interacting with the candidates while they're here. But, it's been incredibly collaborative throughout, I believe. Certainly have chaired that since my perspective, but we vetted every candidate that came before us, and ultimately the committee gave thumbs up, thumbs down, and the ones you see before you are the ones that really had unanimous support going through this process from a wide sector of the committee, if not all of the committee.